Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. We've got another What's for Dinner for you guys. This is where I share all the meals that we had this past week. We are going to start out with a super easy one. We are doing a basic boxed hamburger helper. I was honestly going to try to make a homemade version of this beefy pasta hamburger helper, and I just was not feeling it Sunday night, and dinner just needed to get done. So luckily I had one in my pantry and I just did this one, and hopefully I can get to the homemade version in a few weeks. We had a few random hamburger buns and hot dog buns. I just pulled those all out and added some butter and some garlic seasoned into those, and we had some easy garlic bread. Here is everything. I just cooked up a couple cans of corn to go along with our hamburger helper and our garlic bread. Next up, we're doing Cajun pasta. I don't have a recipe for this one, I just threw this one together, but I wanted it to be really easy, and it really was, and it was delicious. So first, I'm just cutting up half of each of my peppers. I just have a red, a yellow, and an orange, and then I'm also cutting up half of an onion there, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut up my kielbasa. That way everything is ready to go. I have a couple tablespoons of butter there. I'm just going to cook up my peppers first. They take a little bit longer to cook up, so I'm going to put those in there first, and then we'll add in our onions, and then we'll add in the kielbasa. I did season that up with some Tony's and some Cajun seasoning. While that's cooking up, we're going to go ahead and cook up our pasta. I just added that into some nice, hot, salty, boiling water. Now we're going to add in 1.5 jars of Alfredo sauce. I wasn't sure how much I was going to need, and I ended up just using 1 whole jar and 1/2 jar. I'm going to add in some extra Cajun seasoning, and then I'm going to add in some heavy cream. I didn't add much, as you've seen. I just finished off the rest of that bottle, but that is going to help kind of cut that jarred Alfredo taste. I love using jarred Alfredo, but you all know, like, homemade Alfredo is totally different than jarred Alfredo, and so to help kind of make it more of a homemade taste, definitely add in some more heavy cream. That's going to give it some richness. And then another way to kind of help the sauce is if you take a like 1/4 to 1/2 cup of that nice pasta water, that's nice starchy water, take and add that into your pasta jar, give it a good shake, and add it in to your sauce and give it a good mix. That's going to help make it even more creamier, and it's going to be nice and thick and delicious. Now I'm going to go ahead and cook up my shrimp. I personally don't like shrimp, so whenever I do this, I always do it separate. But if you wanted to, you could cook it in with your kielbasa and the onions and peppers. Totally up to you, but I did season that up with some Cajun seasoning. And then I'm also going to do some of this flaky style crab. I just have some Cajun seasoning on that, and I'm just going to heat that up with some butter. It's already fully cooked, so you just want to heat it through. That way it's, warm like the rest of your food. But here is everything. We've got our noodles, our shrimp's cooking up, we've got the crab, and we also have our delicious Alfredo. And yeah, I burnt the bread. Not the first time, but I did. But here is Luke's plate. He has the shrimp and everything, and then here is my plate. I have the crab meat. Y'all, this was so good, so easy to put together. And like I said, when you add that heavy cream and you add in some of that pasta water, it makes a world of difference when using jarred Alfredo. Next up, we did some homemade pizzas. Winston wanted to help me this night. He is really good at putting together pizzas. We did one meat lovers, and then we also did another one with half cheese and half black olives. As I was cleaning up the pizza mess while the pizzas were in the oven, I realized that this thing was hanging over this the whole time. So it looked like, fingers hanging over that while Winston was putting together the pizza. So I apologize. But like y'all can see, I didn't realize it was there till after I was cleaning up. And then I went back and looked at the clips and I was like, well, crap. I probably need to explain, but yeah. It's not just a random actual gloved hand. It's just his glove for smoking. I had to wash it, so I was letting it dry. Here they are when they are all done. They are so delicious, easy to put together, and way cheaper than ordering out. On Wednesday night, we did Crock Pot Chicken and veggies. I have shared this before on my channel, so I'll have that video linked down below for you guys. On Thursday night, Luke cooked up some chicken and steak sandwiches on the Blackstone. They were so good, y'all. I'm going to be sharing this in an upcoming summer grilling video, so make sure y'all are subscribed so you don't miss that one. On a Friday night, I cooked up some meatloaf, and I don't have a recipe. I kind of change up the seasonings every time, whatever feels good, but I'll kind of go over the basics with you guys. And I do put ketchup on some of it and barbecue sauce on some as well, because I don't like ketchup, as y'all know, and so I make sure to put barbecue sauce just on my half. So I have got 3 pounds of meat total. I add 1 egg per pound into my meatloaf, and then I add in some breadcrumbs. And then for seasonings this time, I did some garlic powder, onion powder, also did some minced onion. I did paprika, salt, and pepper, and I ended up doing some of the 1836 beef rub instead of that complete seasoning like y'all seen at the beginning. I ended up doing that, and then I just mix all that together well and then form it into my loaf, and then just add that into my casserole dish. And then, like I said, I do ketchup on some and then barbecue for a little bit. This ended up cooking for about an hour, and I cooked up a ton of side dishes. This was I was stressed on Friday and I just stress cooked, so I just made a crap ton of sides. side number one, we are going to do some mashed potatoes. Now, normally I do these in the crock pot, and I will have that recipe and the video linked down below for you guys. And honestly, I prefer them in the crock pot. And Luke said the same thing, because after making these, because I haven't made them on the stovetop in a long time, because like I said, I always do mine in the crock pot, and after making these, I'm like, no, I'm just going to stick to the crock pot. They are 10 times better, y'all. 10 times better. But that is side number one. And then side number two, I had some squash that was honestly on its last leg, and it needed to be used. And so last week I shared that we ate at my mom's house, and she made some fried squash. And y'all, a few people had asked how she made hers, and we pretty much make it the same way, so I thought I would share it today with you guys. But to also go along with that, I'm going to do some fried corn cakes, or hoe cakes, whatever you call them in your area. I just follow the directions on the back of those cornbread mixes, and then we'll just get those going on the griddle. So for the squash, I have got a couple tablespoons of butter there in my pan, and I'm going to add in some of this frozen blend of peppers and onions. That's all I had left, so I just used what was there. You can of course add as little or as much onion and pepper as you want. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in my squash, and I like to season mine with Badia Complete because it's like an all-purpose seasoning, but you just season with your heart, season with what you know your family is going to enjoy, and that's it. You just season it up, mix it around, and cook it up. It's going to get some color on both sides. It's going to get softer, and it is delicious. I absolutely love fried squash. So there, I'm just mixing up my mashed potatoes, getting my corn cakes going, and we are back to the squash. Once it's cooked down to your liking, you're just going to top it with cheese, and I have that on low right now, so it's not really cooking it. It's just going to melt the cheese. And I also cooked up some green beans. I forgot to share that, I guess. But yeah, I went a little crazy. Like I said, I was stressed. So here is everything. This is like some down-home southern comfort food right here. This is my stress cooking. A lot of food. This was it. But it was delicious, y'all. So, so good. On Saturday night, we had a family cookout. We were celebrating Aunt Vicky retiring from her work, and y'all already know, if you've seen the Dean spread before in previous What's for Dinner videos, you already know the spread of food. So much food. But it was good to get together and all hang out. Normally we only do it a couple times a year, but we had an extra reason to get together for celebrating her retirement. So for us, we made pasta salad, and we made some fried corn. I will be sharing our side dishes with you guys in a couple weeks in a upcoming summertime recipe video, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But we had so much food. I was so stuffed. And then we had a ton of desserts. So much. It was great. And that is it, guys. That wraps up this week's What's for Dinner video. I really hope you enjoyed these super easy and delicious weeknight dinners. Remember, it doesn't have to be fancy, just as long as your family is fed. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.